Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 21st September 2024. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports for the weekly time frame. Even before generation of these reports, all of you please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So at our channel homepage, you may find the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing the tab Community. Whichever the tab you see, you click on the tab, then you get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into the playlist Supply Demand Zone Price Action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available. So far we have completed 25 training lessons, and from these 25 training lessons we have released 66 videos. So you need to start your training from the first lesson. For that you need to scroll down to the bottom of the page. So at the bottom of the page you may find the lesson 1.1. So you need to start your training from this lesson, and then you need to follow all these lessons in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one and strengthen your skills related to supply demand zone price action. I have also provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Please join at our Telegram channel. It will be helpful to you each time when we release a new YouTube video or any other important updates we will be providing at our Telegram channel. Now let's get into the report generation, weekly reports. We are going to generate with the help of NeoStock Software Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. So I have selected the entry time frame as a weekly. Now let us find the stocks near weekly demand zone. 5 stocks are filtered. Now at present price is near to these weekly demand zones. I will be giving you only few seconds time to watch this report. So you need to pause the video and then you need to study this entire report. After your study, you can further proceed. If you don't know how to understand this report, I have already explained how to understand this report in detail in lesson 21.1. That is part 1 of lesson 21. There I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations, and also how you can take this supply zone and demand zone timestamps from this report and how you can draw them in the trading view. Everything I explained in detail. Okay, now let us move on to the next report. For weekly time frame, let us find the stocks near weekly supply zone. 5 stocks are filtered near to the weekly supply zone. In the next report for weekly time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside weekly demand zone. So we got a good number of stocks. Let me scroll the list down. So total 25 stocks are filtered. So from these 25 stocks, we can understand currently prices are closed inside these weekly demand zone. All these are all weekly demand zones and supply zones. For each stock you may find demand zone and supply zone. For few stocks you are finding only demand zones. They are all-time high demand zones. They don't have supply zones. That way you need to understand. Okay. To improve the probability of these zones, let's verify if any of these zones are having weekly EMA confluence. So I'm going to add one more filter, EMA confluence, because all these are all weekly zones. So we should have demand zone confluence because prices are closed inside demand zone. If they have weekly EMA confluence, it might be having high probability setup. So weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. So WEMAC means weekly EMA confluence, weekly demand zone. But you know that EMA confluence makes sense only in the trending market, not in the sideways market. So that is the reason why, because prices are closed in the demand zone, if demand zone EMA confluence is there, there are higher chances prices will be started moving from this zone. Probably you may find a fine-tuned zone inside the zone, a daily time frame, or further fine-tuned to 75 minutes time frame. Somewhere you plan a trade, but the trend should be uptrend because it is a demand zone. So in the zone violation trend, weekly time frame, I am selected the uptrend, and also these weekly zones are having weekly EMA confluence. All these parameters had high probability setup parameters. See, now the list is 7 stocks. If you focus on these 7 stocks, you may find some bullish trade setup stocks or sideways trade setup stocks. You may find that way you can plan your trade opportunities for the coming week. Okay, in the next report, selecting the weekly time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside weekly supply zone. Let's filter. Again, we got good number of stocks are filtered. Let me scroll the list down. So total 22 stocks are filtered. That means currently prices are closed in these supply zones. The light red color marked lines are supply zones. So currently prices are closed in those supply zones. So let's add EMA and trend related parameters. Let's look for high probability setup related stocks. So I'm going back. I'm adding EMA confluence for the supply zones. If any of those supply zones out of the 22 stocks, if any of those supply zones are having a weekly EMA confluence, so weekly supply zones with weekly EMA confluence. But you know that EMA confluence makes sense only in the trending market, not in the ranging market, not in the sideways market. So trend. So because it is supply zone, downtrend makes sense. So in the trend, zone violation trend, weekly time frame, I am selecting the downtrend. That means the currently prices are closed in the weekly supply zone and they have EMA confluence and also the trend is down. Then you can fine tune that weekly zone with the daily or 75 minutes. That way you can prepare a trade setups. So I am filtering now. So from those 22 stocks, only one stock is filtered. Having downtrend. Which one? Because we selected weekly time frame, LTF trend should be downtrend. Weekly. Your weekly trend is nothing but LTF trend. Okay. So this is about where price closed inside weekly supply zone. In the next report for weekly time frame, let us find the stocks that are tested during this week. The demand zones tested, the stocks having demand zones tested during this week. All these 14 stocks having demand zones are tested during this week. In the next report for weekly time frame, let us find the stocks where the supply zones are tested during this week. The stocks having supply zones. So these 7 stocks having supply zones are tested during this week. Which supply zone? Weekly supply zones. Okay, this is about tested. In the next report for weekly time frame, let us find the stocks having newly created demand zones, weekly demand zones during this week. So these 15 stocks having demand zones are created during this week. Okay, next for weekly time frame, let us identify the stocks having newly created weekly supply zones. So these 9 stocks. So these 9 stocks having the supply zones are created during this week. Okay, next let us identify all the stocks that are supporting bullish, having bullish trend. So entry time frame is weekly. The demand zones with bullish trend. So in the zone violation trend, weekly time frame, I am selecting uptrend. If the list is very big, we will also further filter even by checking with swing high-low trend. We also call it as pivot high-low trend. You already land higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, equal high, equal low. These concepts you land in your phase 1 training program. So based on, first I am zone violation. If the list is big, then I want to further filter. See, we got a very big list. Let me scroll the list down. So total 150 stocks. Out of 199, 150 are having a uptrend. Weekly trend is uptrend. By default, LTF. Here we selected entry time frame weekly. See, all these LTF trends as uptrend. So your favorite stocks might be there in this, but still, we want to reduce this list. So what I want to do, I want to add even a pivot high-low trend also. Both the trends should be uptrend. See, earlier you have, this is a zone violation trend and this is pivot high-low trend. Both trends should support uptrend. Sometimes there could be some mismatch because the zone violation trend is quickly it is reactive. Compare it to pivot trend. Pivot trend is stable. Once it is confirmed, it is very stable. So both the trends, but still we got a very big. First let me show you for the reference purpose. After that we will further filter by adding some parameters. Scrolling the list down. So from 150, the list is now come down to 81 stocks. Maybe some of your favorite stocks might be there in this list, but even then, it is a big list. Can we add some more additional parameters that improves the probability of this zone success? For that, I am going to add EMA filter. How many of these zones are having a weekly EMA confluence? Trend is up, weekly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, I am selecting weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. Now list is further reduced. Nifty 50 is also having a weekly EMA confluence for a weekly zone. I am scrolling the list down. See, now the list is come down to 39. But even then the list is further big. So what we do? Let us change our approach. So I am removing the EMA confluence, weekly EMA confluence. Let me check how many of those stocks, because from how many stocks without EMA confluence? We got 81 stocks, right? From these 81, how many are having a ITF confluence? That means weekly zones part of the monthly zone. So in the demand zone confluence, I am checking weekly demand zone having monthly demand zone confluence. This is the filter. I am enabling this filter. From 81, how many will come down? Now the list is reduced to 22. All these weekly zones are part of the monthly zone. That means they are having monthly confluence. Except one stock, all the monthly stocks are having uptrend. See here, weekly trend is uptrend because we already set the trend. And here, monthly trend. But these weekly zones are part of the monthly zone. If these monthly zones are having monthly EMA confluence, it is even more high probability trade setup. So what I am going to do? I'm going to add EMA Confluence in monthly time frame. Why we are adding in monthly? Because weekly zone is part of the monthly zone. That is Zone Confluence. Because it is part of the monthly zone, if the monthly zone is having monthly EMA Confluence, it's a high probability setup. So in the EMA Confluence, monthly time frame, I'm adding monthly demand zone with monthly EMA Confluence. Why monthly demand zone? Because weekly zone demand zone is part of the monthly demand zone. See, now the list is further reduced to only 8. Now you can focus on these 8 and you can plan some kind of trade setups. You can fine tune to daily time frame. That way you can find some DIT related setup stocks. Okay, this is about weekly demand zones having ITF confluence, that is monthly zone confluence, and also the monthly zone is having monthly EMA confluence. Next, let us look for supply zones. So monthly time frame, I am looking for monthly stocks currently that are supporting monthly, sorry for my mistake, weekly. Entry time frame should be weekly, right? Because we are generating weekly reports. So the weekly time frame, how many are having a downtrend related stocks currently? Weekly trend should be downtrend. So in the trend, zone violation trend, in a weekly time frame, I am selecting the trend as a down. Let us list. If the list is big, we will add a swing high low. If the list is small, we can ignore this. Only 10 stocks. So these 10 stocks are currently supporting downtrend. And if any of these stocks are having a weekly EMA confluence, the supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence, they are at high probability setup. So I am adding in the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence. Weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence filter I added. See, only 3 stocks. 3 stocks are filtered. And all these 3 stocks are having a downtrend, and also the supply zones are also having confluence. But in that one supply zone is invalid because it is already pierced. You can ignore always pierced zones. Okay, now I am remove this filter. We will generate the next report. I am removing EMA filter. Without EMA filter, how many we got earlier? 10 stocks. Out of these 10, how many are having monthly supply zone confluence? Let's verify. In the supply zone confluence, this is the supply, that is a weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone. This is the filter. Weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone. I am enabling the filter. Let's verify. Out of the 10, none of the stocks are having monthly supply zone confluence. Fine. No issues. So this is about based on the zone confluence EMA, we filter different stocks. Now without any filters, for your reference purpose, without any filters, let me generate for all the 199 stocks the demand and supply zones for your reference purpose. For weekly time frame, not adding any filter, I am generating complete list. Any of your favorite stocks are there, you want to know what is the demand zone, what is the supply zone, what are the other parameters, any high liquidity zones they are supporting, you want to know. So that's why I am generating this report. So complete list is generated now. We have all 199. We need to scroll down to see the remaining stocks. Before that, please understand, first 17 in this list are indices. That includes all the sectorial indices. Apart from that, remaining all are equity stocks. But the equity stocks list is filtered from F&O listed companies. But they are all equity stocks. So what I do, I keep on scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the list. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.